Welcome back to Bangers Bricks, everybody. My name is Ben. I'm excited to have y'all here as we have a lot going on in the LEGO City today. But before we jump into our LEGO City, I want to talk about our upcoming giveaway, April 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will be giving away to one lucky winner a $25 gift card to the LEGO store. In order to apply and make sure you get into that giveaway, there are three things that you must do. I'll attach a link above where you can follow to our last video. All you have to do is like that video, subscribe to our channel, as well as drop a comment down below and just asking me any question that you would like for me to answer. Again, it can be any question you'd like. So, with that being said, please make sure you do those three things and join our live stream tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will chat about LEGO, get the giveaway ready, and again, give away to that one lucky winner that $25 free gift card to the LEGO store. Before we get a chance to build and put Thor's penthouse on top of our sitcom tower, I wanted to address just a few things that we're going to have to change with our melamine tables and our second tier more specifically. The first thing that we need to start with is the fact that our second tiers don't quite line up. That's primarily due to our door on the back side. Unfortunately, the left side of our door over here actually sticks out just slightly more than our right side. So what we're going to have to do is actually cut about a quarter of an inch off of the back side so that these fit just a little bit more flush. The second thing we're going to have to do with our second tier over here is, as you can see with our newly built railroad tracks, is that the railroad track currently doesn't quite line up. Unfortunately, we can't actually move our railroad track underneath our second tier over here because it's actually running into those 2x4 supports. So what we'll have to do is obviously take just a quarter of an inch off the backside, but also take a little bit more time to move around our supports so that it will be able to accommodate the railroad track and actually connect to our other section that you can see there behind the corner garage. So, a lot to do, but I know that we can do it. The last thing I wanted to point out is the fact that we obviously moved all of our modulars over to the second tier over here. And what that's done is kind of given me the other realization that our Daily Bugle obviously sits too tall, and I want this to be a little bit more of an open city. This kind of closes us off and actually blinds us from some of those other modulars on the back side. So the Daily Bugle will actually be moving to the second tier at some point. I'm not sure where, not sure when, but it will move up there at some point. One last thing before we take our second tier down into the garage and fix the edge as well as our supports is I wanted to take a quick look at one of the newest additions that we've made to our roads. Now, so far, as I mentioned, we have our railroad track that is now implemented into our new Mills road plates, but also this had been running to the edge. We've kind of had it cut off here for the longest time. I finally added this new corner on. Again, this is just a little angled, obviously, plate here on the corner that turns it into a little bit more of a turn, and then just ran road plates all the way to the back. Now, instead of doing that, I think what we're going to do is I'm actually going to run another 5-inch strip of melamine on the side here so that runs obviously all the way to the back, and then we can stop it right here. Save us a little bit of road plate that we can actually add onto the second tier and then run that on the outside of 123 Sesame Street when we get that back over onto this after it's fixed. So just a couple things that I've been kind of running through myself and just trying to do a little bit of a trial and error here. So let's go fix that second tier and then get started. We have made all of the corrections and added on the additions to our second tier. On the left side here, all of the modulars are also moved to their previous locations, and everything turned out pretty well. I will say that the additional second tier piece of melamine that we added on over here definitely makes the corner modular over here for Sesame Street much more accessible to the actual little restaurant, Hooper's Restaurant over there, as well as the front side. And the supports, again, on the back side that we added, you can kind of see back there, we have some more support on the back side. Move those around so that we can now incorporate, again, our train track. I'm happy to say that the train track is complete and it is connected all the way around in its complete loop. The one thing I will say that we will have to change and fix at some point is we will have to fix this flex track. I prefer not to use the flex track, obviously, just to prevent any derailment for our train, but definitely something that we can fix later on down the road. We also took 1/8 of an inch off on the back side of our second tier, this little bump out here, so that now it is flush, and I'm super excited to say that everything is very cohesive within the LEGO City. So Great news, everything is complete. Now, the one thing I will say is we added on support on the corner here, but with it being so close, it's actually kind of sticking out a little bit and was actually being a little obtrusive and knocking into our apartment over here in the corner. So definitely something that we had to jiggle in there a little bit, but it's looking pretty good. With all of those corrections made, we do have a lot more work to do. But before we get to that, I want to run to the Lego City, and then we're going to get started on Thors Penthouse. Let's go. Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, let's go. We are back in the Lego room, everybody. Everything looks pretty sweet here. We have that same base plate, 32 by 32 base plate that shows us all the different pieces that they have. We're gonna be picking up some lightish bluish gray brick and also some plate, as well as some different tiles to fill out the Lego room. So we were able to utilize this pad cup pretty well and fit everything in here, and I think that's pretty much all we're getting today. They are out of the police station as well as the bookshop, so kind of unfortunate there, but stay tuned because we are going to be picking up some new modulars later this week. Welcome to Thors Penthouse, everybody. Now, if you're thinking that this build looks very incomplete, you would be correct. We did place a Bricklink order for all of our pieces. As I was going through our inventory of what was sent to us from Bricklink, we did not have all the pieces, so we were actually forced to look into our inventory that we had here at the house, and we were still not able to complete it. We did have to swap out a decent amount of parts that we had from Bricklink in our own inventory, and this is kind of what we came up with. We are still missing our window pieces as well as our 1x6 and 1x8 dark bluish gray plate. We are also missing some of our cheese wed pieces for the roof for the top of our sitcom tower and top of Thors Penthouse, but we have all those pieces on the way, so we will be able to fix that here within the next week. One brief thing that I wanted to point out. I really liked our old roof, but it was a little bit more flimsy. The new roof that we have is a lot sturdier, as well as actually corrects one of the big mistakes that we had. The roof itself before was originally made for Central Perk, and Central Perk is the first floor. Now, through the first and second floor for Central Perk and Seinfeld, the stairwell starts on the left side of the building. Now, as it gets higher and higher, right, we get into Joey and Chandler's apartment on the third floor, and then Monica and Rachel's apartment on the fourth floor. On the third floor, the stairwell actually comes out in front of the building and then crosses up into Monica and Rachel's apartment, where then it is now on the right side. So the stairwell is actually corrected going from the left side to the right side, so it actually makes more sense from an actual minifigure point of view. As mentioned previously, everybody, this is a complete remake or mock of Thor's New Asgard. So the living room portion is almost exactly the same or identical as to the set that it came in. Now, where it changes and differs is obviously making this more into an actual modular and adding in a bedroom, a bathroom, and more of a kitchen. The kitchen itself inside reminds me a little bit more of Joey and Chandler's apartment as well as Monica and Rachel's, along with some of the different colors, obviously, that we have in Thor's Penthouse. When we're taking a look at the bathroom, it does get a little tight on the inside. We do have the door that actually hits the sink when you open it far enough. And then taking a look at the bedroom, it is pretty straightforward. Not a ton of unique designs on the inside. We do have a little bit of a desk. We have the bed and then a little dresser in the corner there. So overall, everything looks pretty good. I do like the attention to detail in the Thor's New Asgard part. Now we just have to get those Bricklink pieces and finish off the top of our roof. Thor's Penthouse is in, and we're currently waiting for the rest of the pieces. The last thing I want everybody's opinion on is the end of the road and how to tile this off. Now, we couldn't fit another road plate here, so what we did is we actually just took all of those 2x2 dark bluish gray tiles and just kind of finished everything off. We have a little bit of our crosswalk here, leads to the end of the road with the sidewalk that comes down here and then connects to our other road plates that we created. Now, with it being tricky, and obviously I can't lift the train track on top of a Mills plate, what we're kind of running into is potentially having to Mills plate around our train track. And so what I'm trying to figure out is how to finish off the end of our road so that they look complete. Because obviously right now it doesn't look complete. Now, please drop in the comment section down below too, is just how that would work. I know that Lego doesn't necessarily have a perfect solution for this, but It is something that I would be interested in hearing what everybody's thoughts are and really how we can just make this look so much better. In this week's video, everybody, we got a chance to adjust our second tier. We talked about our upcoming giveaway as well as built most of Thors Penthouse. Now, I wanted to talk about what's next for Bingersville. Within Bingersville, if you remember from last week, we reintroduced the second section of our second tier, and it's looking pretty bare. So I want to fill that up with Lego buildings. And as most of you know, we are working to collect obviously most or all potentially of the Lego retired modulars. So we are going to be purchasing 3 separate retired Lego modulars throughout the next 3 weeks. And we're going to build and obviously place those in Lego City. I'm excited to get that done. I'm interested to see if you guys can come up with which 3 we are going to purchase, and we will talk about that next week. Hopefully you guys can join me on our live stream coming up here for our giveaway on the 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.